motor vehicle. That's a third-degree felony, which carried with it up to 10 years in prison. The agreement here is that
this sets the legal framework. While the charge carries up to 10 years, the plea agreement caps exposure at 5, narrowing the judge's sentencing range significantly.
whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 5 years in prison. So we are looking at no less than 2 nor more than 5 years confinement in prison. Deferred or unadjudicated probation can be assessed. Dr. Smith's Paula is out there, folks. Also, you could be sentenced
Would you like me to move?
to no less than 2 nor more than 5 years.
I see on her part, I think that there was no issue as far as contraband being in the vehicle that she was intending to evade, the search of the vehicle, another felony case, other felony prosecutions. Additionally, she didn't have a warrant. There was really no good reason for her to be made other than just poor decision making and perhaps mental stress. The first sentence,
Mental stress for what?
you want to tell
There's
them?
an elephant in the room here. The elephant in the room is
Substance abuse.
you got 7 other cases pending.
Those are Tyler, some are
I
Tyler.
don't care if they're,
I'm going to address.
as long as they're on this planet.
I think that what's going to happen
I mean-
there, and talking with the prosecutors, they're looking at what the court's going to do here.
Well, and this is a fact here. I just want to make sure you were on probation from Orange County when you committed this offense, correct? You have to speak out so she can.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so you're on probation for a illegal possession of controlled substance. It looks like some kind of it's a state jail felony. Then you commit this offense and thereafter being placed on probation, and then your probation was revoked. Then it looks like all of these are the same. No, there's not all the same date. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 burglaries of a building, burglaries of habitation, engaging organized criminal, tampering and fabricating with physical evidence,
That should be child care.
and possession of a controlled substance. All in, the date of offense is February 16th of 23. And that was, it looks like before you were placed on probation in Orange County, that was later revoked till last year. And then those are all pending cases. Those haven't been disposed of yet?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Oh,
I'm representing them.
okay. Then you've got this.
This is where things escalate, committing a new felony while already on probation, plus multiple pending charges, seriously weakens any argument for leniency.
New evading arrest or detention with a motor vehicle, the third-degree felony that pops up, and it is committed on November 12th of 2024 after you were on probation for that Orange County case, and after it's alleged you committed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 offenses out of Tyler County that are pending. And then, I didn't even talk about the misdemeanors, Richard. The evading arrest or detention pending in Tyler County. The failure to identify in Tyler County. And then you receive 30 days in jail for a theft of property, I guess here in Jefferson County. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What's all this all about?
I had lost my daughter and I was kind of spiraled out of control.
When?
Let's see, about 4 years ago.
What was the date?
So I lost my daughter.
Yes.
But
You certainly know that.
No, she didn't.
We all know when
No,
we lose a
it's
child
CPS.
exactly the moment that happened.
Well, it was she didn't pass or nothing. It was to CPS. I lost her to CPS.
Oh,
Yes. So,
why?
because her father got caught with drugs.
Because of her father? You
Well,
lost?
yes, sir. So
That's not the way it works.
Well, he had said that I was a danger child.
Well, They must have articulated some reason.
Right.
Okay. Nonetheless, so
Then I thought about.
do you have any children? Ask.
I have 13-year-old.
That's in your care.
Yes, sir.
What about that? I mean, you're committing crimes here. You can go to prison for a long time if you added all this stuff up. And you got a child at home?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Come on. But on one hand, you say, well, I'm suffering because one of my children were taken away from me, but you have a child at home that's you're responsible for, and you've got all these crimes? That doesn't make any sense. Ma'am?
I was kind of hanging around the wrong people.
Whose choice was that?
No.
Okay, what else? See, these are your choices, like we all make it. These are fixable by doing the right thing. You know it's the right choice. We all know. You consciously continue to make the wrong choice,
That's what,
which is I wish you wouldn't do. Not only for your sake, but for your family.
So,
Where are you in things?
right now I'm having trouble. I'm making better decisions now.
Okay.
But I think maybe I just needed to see that making bad decisions has consequences, you know.
I have to have that.
Like I said, I just wanted to. Yeah, so I got locked up in a they offered
Yeah, there's a great book written by a person named, it says, I am third. I am third. Our Creator is first, others are second, including our family. I come in third. And that's,
Yes, sir.
it has a good message. And it certainly plays out a lot here in this room. So people who forget that they have responsibilities that are more important
Yes, sir.
to them, especially family. You didn't get to pick them. I mean, people, our Creator gifted you with that. All right. So what do we do?
well, I would suggest defer adjudicated probation, not those, our 10 over 10 is a third degree, I suppose, you wouldn't extend their exposure if you ever defer. If you sentence her to 5, if you knock her out, Your Honor, parole being what it is with a non-aggravated offense, you probably would do it to most too, as long as she doesn't get any type of problems when she's in institutionalized. So I think probation actually may be the harder course for her at this point with the exposure. You're doubling her exposure to 10 versus 5 in the event that she isn't able to maintain a law-abiding lifestyle and abide by the conditions of probation. So,
Number one, the classification the defense has given you about this offense. Having watched the video of her evading here, that we're lucky that she's standing here. The risk of life that occurred here whenever she's disobeying all the traffic lights on 11th Street from 11th and Laurel all the way down to Luby's. Again, it's just amazing. And I made those comments in my notes, and I don't usually do that unless it's something that is notable that I plan to use in trial. What is missing from this PSI is what they found in her car that I hope explains why it is that she was running. According to the officer's report, when they inventoried her vehicle, they found a checkbook inside her purse that belonged to another individual by the name of Elizabeth or Martin Graham. In addition to that, they
Who is that?
I'm not sure. I don't recall.
All right, go ahead.
In addition to that, they
I know
found,
all the checkbooks in my car. I know whose they are.
they found
Everybody pretty much does too.
they found an EBT card and Social Security card that belonged to a Jonah Glover. In the same stack of those cards located
Who's
was
that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
7 medical insurance cards, another Social Security card, a different state Texas driver's license card, 2 bank cards, a different food stamp card, 2 scrap metal cash transaction cards, all belonging to other individuals. Now, Your Honor knows
Or
that,
other names.
right, that could have been a separate offense altogether.
And why they didn't charge that's a law enforcement decision as far as that's concerned. But this certainly explains conduct underlying as to why she did what she did on that date, not this explanation that was provided to the PSI officer. The state of Texas feels that probation was offered to her in Orange County. That resulted in a motion to revoke probation because of this offense. It's why she was revoked and given the 18-month state jail time. She had, and again, I don't understand why Tyler County's 8 pending charges. You said 7. I don't know why these weren't resolved prior to her going on probation, because those offenses.
Yeah, I'm only counting 7 here in the pre-sentence.
I counted.
But that's a.
I may have miscounted, Judge.
Well, I don't think there's a substantial difference there. There's a lot.
There's 2 misdemeanors and 6 felonies. They all arise from February 16th of 2023, all along the lines of the kinds of things that we're talking about. Evading. There's an obvious trend here about the criminal activity that's obviously present here on this date that we're dealing with. She had her chance. There's not a reason why we should reward her for successfully not killing anybody on that day and give her probation.
I'm going to put you over there in the box and do something here. Think about something. Okay.
I'll come as soon as I mention.
Okay. And this was the day of sentencing, and court wanted to make sure that the defendant was not under the influence of drugs or any other inebriating substance for this day of sentencing. And because she is apparently evading the test-taking procedure by attempting to dilute the urine in during this testing procedure, then her bond is revoked and her attorney will be called, and we will have a hearing later today on this matter.
Okay. The last reset up there was the suit.
I'll remind the court that not only did she struggle, but she had all that paraphernalia in her car from other people that just, she was running for a reason. It wasn't that she was scared.
Anything else
Rest.
you would like to add, ma'am? Nothing else?
Whatever you want.
I would really like to get a second chance to try and do probation because
Well, hold on. You got a second chance when you were placed on probation in Orange County. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about a second chance in this case, but you were on a dry run out of Orange County to see how you would do on probation. That was it looks like your first opportunity to be on probation ever. And then, and see that you also picked up on that date, March 14th of 21, illegal possession of a controlled substance, a misdemeanor as well as a felony, and that misdemeanor was 77 days in jail you were sentenced to, and then there was it must have had more than one drug, a more serious drug and a lesser serious drug, but both were crimes. Then you were placed on that 5-year probation and then revoked in 2/12 of 25. In this case, voluntarily.
The outcome reflects that pattern despite the cap deal. The judge imposes a 4-year prison sentence, signaling that repeated offenses and probation violations outweighed any mitigating factors.
She's mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted in this plea hearing to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this third-degree felony of evading arrest or detention with a motor vehicle. And following this agreement, you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 4 years, and you will be given credit for all time you have served, which isn't much, but you have these other cases.
Yes.
And that is going to run on its own, and then you'll see what those other cases do.
Thank you.
All right, that is on.
I'll see if it's on.
Thanks.
All right, we are in recess and